We're excited to welcome you to your final session. Hopefully you've already started to experience some benefits from session 1 and session 2. But today, we're going to walk through how forgiveness releases and empowers the full potential of your life.
The reality is you cannot live your best life without forgiveness. And remember, this guided forgiveness journal is a tool that you can use again and again throughout your life, because life is full of opportunities to forgive.
That is very true. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, but as we've learned in the last 2 sessions, forgiveness changes you. It unlocks your future. It releases the weight you've been carrying and empowers you to move forward stronger, freer, and with a new sense of purpose.
Remember, when you choose to forgive, you are choosing healthier relationships, freedom, and mental and emotional wellness. It's our privilege to introduce John O'Leary to talk about how forgiveness releases and empowers the full potential of your life.
You're in a rut and need a little push, this next story might help.
Heidi Klaus is here with a story about beating the odds. Well, John O'Leary is one of those guys you meet briefly but never forget about. But I want to warn you, some of the pictures you're going to see are pretty graphic.
12 months out, what do you see happening in your life? For real.
There are plenty of people out there who talk the talk.
What are you willing to risk everything for?
John O'Leary, however, actually walks the walk.
9 years old, I ran a science experiment in my garage, held a piece of paper that was burning to a can of gasoline and started pouring.
Even though the odds of him ever walking or talking were at one time slim to none.
The can went up, I went up, and then the house started burning too.
He was given less than a 1% chance of making it through the night.
I think with faith in the power of the human spirit and with an incredible team behind you, you can ignore the odds and start doing some pretty cool things.
The team he had with him that night consisted of his 3 siblings.
My brother comes up from the basement. He saves my life with a rug. And this is my sister Amy. She puts her arms around me and she just holds on tight and won't let go.
And then there was Susan.
She goes all the way back to the kitchen. She blindly opens up the drawer. She grabs whatever she came in for. She sprints back outside. And I'll remember this vividly until the day I die. One sister holding me, the house burning behind us. And then this little girl, she's 7, she throws a cup of water right into my face.
All 3 took a risk to save him, and they succeeded.
I am burned over my entire body terribly, but not my face. And some of the medical professionals say it's because of her that you have your face. And it's because of your face that you have your entire skin, because we took all the skin from your scalp.
He spent 5 months in the hospital, lost all of his fingers to amputation, and has had numerous skin grafts, but his spirit wasn't scarred.
What dreams right now are you going to grab?
So these days, he's sharing his story.
I think all of us have our stories of being burned, and whether that's divorce or financial woes or health issues, we've all been there.
With the hope of inspiring others to be the best they can be.
What turns me on is seeing somebody else get to realize that their story, as difficult as it may be or may have been, that they still have the gift to rewrite it going forward.
What happens, though, I wonder, when the person we need to forgive is ourselves? And so I'd like to share a little bit of my story, a couple stories of mistakes that I made along the way, and hopefully what you can learn from it as you choose to forgive yourself. And so as a little boy, you saw that I was involved in that house fire. I remember that morning seeing myself in this hospital bed and looking up at the ceiling, feeling very hopeless and very afraid, having all my clothes and skin burnt off by myself. And I'm waiting there in this silence, and I wanted to die. I was so afraid. And I hear my dad's voice down the hall. And my dad is this loud, bombastic individual, this guy who put the fear of God in me. He's yelling at one of the nurses, "Where is my boy, John?" And I know why he's asking, right? The old man is coming to finish me off. Okay, he's my disciplinarian. Think about yours. Think about the last time you were late for curfew. Imagine blowing up the old guy's house. What's he gonna do? I knew he was gonna kill me. And then I hear this voice come closer. This nurse does me no favor. She brings him back into this room. They pull back this curtain. They walk in. And then my dad points down at me. And what he says to me, I'll never forget. He says, "John, damn it. I have never been so proud of anybody in my entire life. And my little buddy, I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you." He said it 3 times. In the moment, my father change from being angry and resentful and judging me. And that forgiveness and that acceptance and that love changed my life. How do you forgive yourself when you drop the ball? When you're not the friend or the student or the son or the daughter that you know you ought to be? How do you forgive yourself? And so that's what I want to share with you in closing. How do I forgive myself for destroying our house? And maybe more than that, for burning my brother's hands, because as he beat down those flames for me, the flames leapt from my body and onto his. And so how do you forgive yourself for that? And my little sister, to go back into that house 3 times, into the smoke, into the fear, injuring her lungs, changing her life. How do I forgive myself for that? For my family going on sleeping meds because of something I did. Not being able to live and sleep in their house for months because of something I did. How do you forgive yourself? And I want to give you 3 things today that you can use to forgive yourself. The first is to love yourself. And I know that sounds soft, but this is hard. You got to love yourself for who you are, love yourself for your past, and realize that everything that happened to you up until today is a gift. And it's going to lead you into the person you're called to be tomorrow. And so it begins, I think, my friends, by choosing to love yourself. Start there. And then take the second step, which is to choose to be victor. There's kind of 2 ways to go through life right now. Whether you're in grade school, high school, your parents, your teacher listening to this, you can become a victim. You can allow life to happen to you and feel sorry and finger point and blame shift and wait for things to happen good. Or you can be victor. You can be a victor in your own life. You can choose what happens next. You can choose to accept things for as they are. And then you can choose what you're going to do about it next. And so be love, choose victory, and then thirdly, here's the big one. Here's the hard one. Choose faith. For me, I know in my journey, I could not have come to this point without having a faith in something much greater than myself. When my mom walked into that room behind my father as a little boy, what she said to me was, "John, I love you." So I said back to her, "Mom, knock it off. Enough love. Am I going to die?" And instead of giving me hope and saying something like, "Baby, it's going to be fine," that's what I wanted. She gave me what I needed, which was truth, in the form of a simple question. The question was, "Baby, do you want to die? Because it's your choice, it's not mine." And I said back to her, "Mom, I'm not going to die." That day, in this hospital bed, with my father holding my left hand and my mom over here holding my right, surrounded in love, we chose to faithfully walk forward, realizing that this thing is about something way bigger than some bird kid or some adversity we face today. When you walk those 3 steps, my friends, I promise you today, no matter what you're going through, you can forgive others, which is hard, but I think you can also forgive yourself. And so choose love, choose victory over victimhood, and then finally choose faith. I want to thank you for choosing to listen today, for being with us. I want to wish you the best in your life and to remind you that the best is yet to come, and that's a choice.
Wow, what a powerful story about forgiving yourself.
When you're ready, please get started with your last session. Forgiveness releases and empowers the full potential of your life.